What if I told you that most of the universe is invisible? That out there, beyond the glittering stars and galaxies, lie vast, terrifying regions of darkness. Places where the laws of physics seem to break, where entire galaxies vanish, and where unseen forces pull us toward an unknown fate. Scientists have discovered some of the most bizarre, mind-bending mysteries hidden in the darkest corners of space. From enormous voids to invisible matter and forces we can't explain. What's really lurking in the cosmic shadows? Buckle up, because today we're diving into the deepest, darkest secrets of the universe. The Boots Void. Imagine looking into the night sky and finding absolutely nothing. No stars, no galaxies, just a vast, eerie emptiness. That's exactly what astronomers found in 1981 when they discovered the Boots Void, one of the largest and most baffling empty spaces in the known universe. This void, spanning nearly 330 million light-years, is so massive that if the Milky Way were placed inside, it would still seem like a tiny speck. Now here's the creepy part. This isn't just a dark region of space where there are fewer stars, it's an area where there should be thousands of galaxies. But instead there are only a handful. Scientists call it a supervoid, but even that term doesn't fully explain how something this enormous and empty could exist. Some theories suggest it formed due to smaller voids merging over billions of years, creating a cosmic desert. But others believe something even more mysterious is at play. Could this void be evidence of something beyond our understanding of physics? Some speculative ideas even suggest advanced extraterrestrial civilizations could have engineered such a void by harvesting galaxies for energy. It sounds like science fiction, but the truth is, we have no definitive explanation. Whatever caused it, one thing is clear. The Boots Void is one of the greatest enigmas of the cosmos. A place so vast and silent it challenges everything we know about how galaxies form and the large-scale structure of the universe. If there's anything lurking inside, we may never know. Dark matter. Right now you're surrounded by invisible matter. You can't see it, touch it, or interact with it in any way, but it's there. Scientists call it dark matter, and it makes up about 27% of the universe. Yet no one knows what it really is. Here's the weird part. If you remove all the stars, planets, and galaxies from the universe, more than 80% of its total mass would still be left behind. This hidden mass is what holds everything together. Without dark matter, galaxies would fall apart because they rotate too fast for their visible mass to keep them intact. It's like some invisible glue is keeping the cosmos from unraveling. But if it's so important, why can't we see it? Well, dark matter doesn't emit, reflect, or absorb light, meaning our telescopes are completely blind to it. Scientists have only been able to detect its presence indirectly through gravitational effects on visible matter. It's like watching trees sway without seeing the wind. And here's where things get even stranger. We have no idea what dark matter is made of. Some theories suggest it could be made of yet undiscovered particles, while others propose it might be linked to an entirely new dimension of physics. Some even wonder if we're looking at the problem all wrong and that gravity itself needs to be redefined. The search for dark matter is one of the biggest scientific mysteries of our time, and solving it could unlock secrets about the fate of the universe itself. But until then, we're left wondering, what is this ghostly presence lurking in the shadows of space? Dark energy. For the longest time, scientists believed that gravity would slow down the expansion of the universe, maybe even stop it completely one day. But in 1998, astronomers made a shocking discovery. Instead of slowing down, the universe's expansion is actually speeding up. Something unseen is pushing galaxies apart at an accelerating rate, as if some mysterious force is actively stretching space itself. They call this force dark energy, and it's even stranger than dark matter. In fact, dark energy makes up a whopping 68% of the universe, meaning most of what exists is something we can't see, touch, or explain. Think of it like this. If the universe were a balloon, dark energy is like an invisible force making it expand faster and faster over time. But here's the catch. We have no idea what dark energy actually is. Some theories suggest it's a property of empty space itself, while others propose that it could be some unknown repulsive force woven into the fabric of reality. But what does this mean for the future? If dark energy continues its relentless expansion, galaxies will drift further apart, stars will burn out, and the universe could eventually become a cold, empty void. Scientists call this terrifying scenario the Big Freeze, a future where everything is too far apart to interact. leaving the cosmos in an eternal lifeless darkness. Right now, dark energy remains one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in physics. It's not just an invisible force, it's the key to understanding the fate of the entire universe. The more we learn about it, the more unsettling it becomes. Is dark energy something natural, or are we witnessing the workings of something far beyond our comprehension? The cosmic microwave background. The cosmic microwave background is often called the echo of the Big Bang, a faint radiation spread across the universe that tells the story of how everything began. But buried within this ancient light is something scientists can't fully explain: the cold spot. Unlike the rest of the CMB, which is fairly uniform, this region is noticeably colder and emptier than expected. And we're not talking about a small difference, it's billions of light years across. Some scientists think it might be a supervoid, an area with far fewer galaxies than normal, causing the light traveling through it to lose energy. But here's where things get creepy. The cold spot is so large and so strange that some physicists believe it could be evidence of something beyond our universe. One mind-bending theory suggests it might be the scar left behind by another universe colliding with ours. Yes, a literal bruise from another reality. If true, this would be the first actual evidence of the multiverse. Other ideas suggest it could be a statistical fluke, but the chances of that are incredibly low. Scientists have been scratching their heads over this mystery for years, and despite all our advancements in cosmology, we still don't have a solid answer. Is the cold spot just a weird quirk of the cosmos, or could it be a window into something far bigger than we ever imagined? Dark galaxies. When you picture a galaxy, you probably imagine something like the Milky Way, a swirling collection of billions of stars, glowing clouds of gas, and bright cosmic fireworks. But not all galaxies shine. Some are nearly invisible, composed mostly of dark matter with barely any stars to light them up. Scientists call these eerie, starless entities dark galaxies. One of the most famous examples is Videofy 21, a galaxy located in the Virgo cluster. But here's the bizarre thing. When astronomers looked for its stars, they couldn't find any. The only clue that it even existed was the way it distorted the space around it with its gravity. It's like a cosmic phantom, something we know is there but can't actually see. And dark galaxies aren't just a rare phenomenon. Some studies suggest they could be more common than regular galaxies, meaning much of the universe could be filled with invisible ghost galaxies, drifting in the dark. But why do they exist, and what can they tell us about dark matter? One possibility is that these galaxies formed in regions where star formation never took off, leaving them as dark, empty shells. Another theory suggests that some may have started normally, but had their gas stolen by larger galaxies, effectively shutting them down. If dark galaxies truly outnumber luminous ones, it means our picture of the universe is incomplete. There's an entire hidden world out there lurking in the shadows just waiting to be discovered. The Great Attractor. Right now, as you're watching this, our entire galaxy is moving at an incredible speed of 1.3 million miles per hour. But here's the question: where are we going? And more importantly, why? Astronomers have discovered that the Milky Way, along with thousands of other galaxies in our region of space, is being pulled toward a mysterious unseen force known as the Great Attractor. It lies about 150 to 250 million light-years away, and it's so powerful that it's dragging entire galaxy clusters toward it. But here's the catch: we can't see it. The Great Attractor is hidden behind the zone of avoidance, an area obscured by our own galaxy's dense stars and dust, making it nearly impossible to observe directly. But even though we can't see what's there, its gravitational influence is undeniable. So what could be causing this massive pull? One idea is that it's a supercluster of galaxies far bigger than anything we've ever seen. Another theory suggests it could be something even more exotic, like a colossal structure of dark matter, bending space on a scale we can barely comprehend. Whatever it is, we're racing toward it at incomprehensible speeds, and we still don't fully understand why. Is the Great Attractor just another massive gravitational anomaly, or are we being drawn toward something far more mysterious lurking in the depths of space? The universe is full of mysteries, and the deeper we look, the more questions we uncover. Are we truly alone, or is something lurking in the cosmic dark? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through space, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more mind-blowing content from InnoVision Tech. See you in the next one. What if the universe ends tomorrow? No warning, no time to prepare, just gone. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? But here's the crazy part. Scientists actually have theories about how the universe could meet its ultimate fate, from a slow, icy death to a sudden cosmic collapse or even a reality-shattering event that happens instantly. These aren't just wild guesses, they're backed by physics. And the scariest part? Some of them could happen without us ever seeing it coming. So what's the truth? Let's dive into the ultimate doomsday theories and find out how everything we know could end. The Big Freeze. Alright, picture this. You're walking outside one night and for some reason the stars look dimmer. Not just one or two, all of them. The sky feels colder, emptier. Now what if I told you that this is exactly how the universe might end? Not with a bang, not with destruction, but with a slow, agonizing freeze. Scientists call it the Big Freeze or heat death, and honestly it's one of the scariest ways for the universe to go. Right now, our universe is expanding. Galaxies are moving away from each other like people trying to avoid an awkward conversation. But the problem? They never stop moving. Ever. The farther they go, the colder everything becomes. Stars will die, galaxies will vanish, and black holes will eventually evaporate, leaving behind a vast, empty, frozen void. Imagine the last star in the universe, flickering like a dying candle. No more warmth, no more light. Just eternal, infinite darkness. Even atoms might stop vibrating, meaning time itself could just stop. Forever. But here's the real kicker, this isn't something that happens in an instant. It's a slow, inevitable process that would take trillions upon trillions of years. So, if you're worried about waking up tomorrow to an ice-cold void of nothingness, don't be. We still have time, for now. The Big Rip. Okay, imagine you're holding a piece of paper. Now, slowly, tear it in half. Now again, and again, until there's nothing left. Now, apply that same concept to the entire universe, except instead of paper, it's planets, stars, galaxies, even atoms. Welcome to the Big Rip, a theory that suggests one terrifying possibility. Dark energy could one day become so powerful that it overcomes everything. Gravity, nuclear forces, even the very fabric of space itself. Right now, dark energy is this mysterious force making the universe expand faster and faster. But what if that acceleration keeps increasing? What if, in a distant future, galaxies are torn from each other? Then solar systems? Then planets? Eventually, even your body would be stretched and ripped apart, atom by atom. And the worst part, scientists estimate that if the Big Rip is real, it would happen in a sudden, unstoppable chain reaction. First, galaxies separate. Then, black holes dissolve. Then, planets and moons start drifting away, until in the final moments, boom! Space-time itself is shredded, and the universe as we know it ceases to exist. So, while we might be safe for billions of years, if this theory turns out to be true, well, let's just say we won't see it coming. The Big Crunch. Alright, let's flip the script. What if, instead of expanding forever, the universe suddenly decided to reverse? Imagine watching a movie of the Big Bang, but in reverse. Galaxies stop moving outward and start falling back toward each other. Space itself shrinks. Stars collide. The entire universe begins to implode under its own gravity. This is the terrifying possibility of the Big Crunch. At first, it wouldn't be noticeable. The cosmos is vast, and these changes would happen over billions of years. But eventually, things would get weird. Galaxies would merge in violent collisions, black holes would devour everything in sight, and temperatures would skyrocket as matter condensed. Now, picture the very last moments. Everything, stars, planets, dust, even light itself, squeezed into an unimaginable singularity. A point so dense, so hot that the laws of physics completely break down. Sound familiar? Yep. This singularity would look exactly like the one that started the Big Bang. Which raises the question, what if this isn't the first time it's happened? What if the universe doesn't just end, but resets? The Big Bounce theory suggests that once the universe collapses, another Big Bang could ignite a new beginning. A fresh universe with new galaxies, new planets, maybe even new versions of us. So is the Big Crunch the end of everything or just a cosmic reboot? We don't know. But if history really does repeat itself, the universe may be stuck in an endless loop of birth, death, and rebirth. Kind of poetic, isn't it? Vacuum decay. Alright, this one is pure nightmare fuel. Unlike the Big Freeze or the Big Crunch where the universe takes billions of years to die, this could happen at any moment, without warning. Let me introduce you to vacuum decay, or as some physicists like to call it, the Big Slurp. Sounds funny, right? Yeah, not when you realize what it means. Right now our universe exists in what's called a false vacuum, kind of like standing on thin ice. It feels stable, but beneath us, there might be something more fundamental, something more real. If a quantum fluctuation or some bizarre high-energy event were to trigger a shift, a tiny bubble of true vacuum could form. And guess what? That bubble would expand at the speed of light. You wouldn't see it coming, you wouldn't feel it, it would just happen. 1 second the universe is here, the next, gone. The laws of physics would change instantly. Atoms would stop being atoms. Time and space would cease to exist as we know them. It sounds like sci-fi, but this isn't some horror movie plot, it's actual science. Some physicists believe that if the universe is truly in a false vacuum state, then vacuum decay is inevitable. The only good news? If it happens, we wouldn't have time to process it. No suffering, no pain, just poof. So, will we wake up tomorrow and find out the universe has been rewritten? Probably not, but the possibility alone is enough to keep some scientists awake at night. Sleep well. The Big Bounce. Alright, let's think outside the box for a second. What if the universe never really ends? What if, instead of collapsing into nothingness or freezing over, it just bounces back? Imagine a giant cosmic heartbeat, expanding, collapsing, expanding again. This is what scientists call the Big Bounce. It all starts with a big crunch, where everything gets pulled back together, condensed into a singularity. But instead of staying trapped, something triggers another Big Bang, a new universe bursting into existence, repeating the cycle all over again. And here's where things get really crazy. What if every new universe is just slightly different? Maybe in one version the laws of physics are the same, but galaxies form in completely different places. Maybe in another, the speed of light is different or gravity is stronger. And maybe, just maybe, there's another version of you out there living a completely different life. This theory makes the universe feel less like a one-time event and more like an eternal process. The end? It's just the start of something new, over and over again. And if that's true, then maybe this isn't the first time we've had this conversation. Maybe in some past version of the universe you've already heard this before. And maybe, just maybe, you'll hear it again. The role of dark energy. Okay, now let's talk about the real mystery here, dark energy. If the universe's fate is a movie, dark energy is the director. We can't see it, we don't fully understand it, but it's shaping everything. And depending on what dark energy really is, it could decide which of these doomsday endings actually happens. Right now, dark energy makes up about 68% of the entire universe. It's like a force that's pushing everything apart, making space expand faster and faster. But here's the scary part. We have no idea what it is. Is it a constant force? Will it get stronger? Or could it suddenly change? If dark energy stays constant, the universe might just expand forever, leading us straight into the big freeze. And if it gets stronger, we might be headed for the big rip, where space itself is torn apart. But if it weakens, gravity could take over again, pulling everything back for a big crunch. And here's something even crazier. What if dark energy isn't just controlling this universe, but all universes? Some scientists think that dark energy could be linked to the multiverse, meaning that whatever happens to our universe is just a tiny piece of something much, much bigger. So, will dark energy let the universe drift into an icy grave, rip it apart, or start the cycle all over again? The truth is, we don't know. But one thing's for sure, dark energy is the key to everything. So, is the universe destined for a slow freeze, a violent collapse, or something even stranger? The truth is, we may never know until it happens. But one thing's for sure, the cosmos is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. If you love exploring the mind-blowing possibilities of science in the future, make sure to subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more deep dives into the unknown. What do you think will be the universe's ultimate fate? Let's discuss in the comments. What if right now, in another universe, you're living a completely different life? Maybe you're a famous actor, a billionaire, or even an astronaut exploring a distant planet. Sounds crazy, right? But what if science says it's possible? The idea of parallel universes isn't just science fiction, it's something real physicists are actually exploring. But here's the big question. If alternate realities exist, could we ever travel between them? Could déjà vu be a glitch between worlds? Stick around, because we're about to dive into one of the biggest mysteries of the universe, and you might never see reality the same way again. The multiverse concept. Have you ever stopped to think, what if there's another version of you, right now, living a completely different life? Maybe in some alternate reality you're a famous musician, a billionaire, or even an astronaut exploring Mars. Sounds crazy, right? But hold on, science suggests that this idea might not be as far-fetched as it seems. The multiverse theory proposes that our universe is just one of many, an infinite number of realities where every possible version of your life plays out. In one universe, you might have taken that job offer you turned down. In another, you never even existed. It's like a cosmic choose-your-own-adventure book, but every choice actually happens in a separate universe. Why does this idea matter? Well, if alternate universes exist, it changes everything we know about reality, fate, and free will. What if our dreams, déjà vu moments, or gut feelings are actually glimpses of another version of ourselves living in a parallel world? What if those unexplained coincidences, meeting a stranger who feels oddly familiar, or predicting an event before it happens, aren't coincidences at all? The possibility of an alternate universe isn't just science fiction. Physicists, mathematicians, and even philosophers have spent years trying to crack this mystery. Could it be that we are just scratching the surface of something far bigger than we can comprehend? Buckle up, because the journey into the multiverse is about to get a lot deeper. Scientific theories of parallel universes. Okay, so let's get one thing straight. This isn't just wild imagination. There are actual scientific theories that hint at the existence of multiple universes, and they come from some of the brightest minds in physics. One of the biggest ideas? The many worlds interpretation. This comes straight from quantum mechanics, the branch of physics that deals with the tiny, bizarre world of particles. According to this theory, every time a decision is made, every single choice, no matter how small, the universe splits into multiple realities where every possible outcome actually happens. Right now, in some alternate universe, another version of you picked a different career, moved to another country, or even skipped watching this video. Then there's the cosmic inflation theory. Ever heard of the Big Bang? Scientists believe that during the very early moments of our universe, it expanded at an insane rate, like a balloon inflating super fast. This theory suggests that different parts of space might have inflated at different speeds, creating separate independent universes, each with its own laws of physics. That means somewhere out there could be a universe where gravity works differently, where light travels at a different speed, or where time itself doesn't even exist. And get this, some researchers even believe that black holes might be portals to other universes. When something falls into a black hole, it gets crushed into oblivion. Or does it? Some theories suggest that instead of being destroyed, that matter is actually transported to another universe entirely. So what does this all mean? If these theories hold up, then parallel universes might not just be possible, they might be inevitable. The real question is, will we ever find a way to travel between them? Implications of alternate realities. Now, here's where things get personal. If alternate universes really exist, then who are you? Are you just one version of yourself out of an infinite number of possibilities? Think about it. If there are multiple realities where different versions of you exist, does that mean your identity isn't as unique as you thought? Let's say you made a life-changing decision a few years ago. Maybe you quit your job, moved to a new city, or broke up with someone. According to the multiverse theory, in another universe, there's a version of you who made the opposite choice. That version of you might be living a completely different life right now. Maybe they're thriving, maybe they're struggling, but either way they exist. This also raises the question, how much of our lives are actually in our control? If every possible choice creates a new reality, then, technically, every version of your life is happening somewhere. Does that mean free will is just an illusion? Or does it mean that every decision, no matter how small, matters more than we ever realized? And here's something even weirder. What if we sometimes feel these alternate versions of ourselves? Have you ever experienced a moment where you knew something was going to happen before it did? Or felt an unexplainable connection to a place you've never been before? What if those are glimpses of another reality bleeding into our own? If alternate universes exist, then your entire sense of self might be way more complicated than you ever imagined. Maybe you're not just you, you're part of something much, much bigger. Cultural and philosophical perspectives. The idea of parallel universes isn't just a scientific curiosity, it's something that has fascinated humans for centuries. Across cultures, religions, and philosophies, there have always been stories about other versions of reality. Take Hinduism and Buddhism, for example. Both traditions talk about the idea of multiple worlds and different versions of existence. In some interpretations, karma doesn't just affect your next life. It could also play out across multiple realities at once. Could these ancient beliefs be an early glimpse into what science is now exploring? Then there's philosophy. Ever heard of the what-if paradox? It's the idea that every decision creates an alternate path. Some philosophers believe that every choice we make splits reality, which means infinite realities exist, each one shaped by a different version of your past decisions. Sound familiar? That's basically the many worlds interpretation, but through the lens of philosophy instead of physics. And of course, we see the idea of alternate realities everywhere in pop culture. From Marvel's Multiverse of Madness to Stranger Things, from Rick and Morty to Interstellar, the concept of multiple universes is a storytelling goldmine. Why? Because deep down we all wonder, what if my life had gone differently? But here's the real kicker. What if these stories aren't just fiction? What if we're drawn to these ideas because on some subconscious level we know there's truth to them? Maybe, just maybe, the reason we love stories about parallel universes is because our minds are already connected to them in ways we don't fully understand yet. Technological advances. Alright, let's get to the big question. Can we actually prove that alternate universes exist? Right now, we can't exactly hop into a spaceship and visit Earth 2, or shake hands with an alternate version of ourselves, but that doesn't mean scientists aren't trying. One of the most exciting areas of research is quantum computing. Unlike regular computers which use bits, quantum computers use qubits, which can exist in multiple states at once. Some physicists believe that this strange behavior hints at parallel worlds interacting with our own at the microscopic level. Could quantum computers one day help us access these other realities? Then there's the Large Hadron Collider, the massive particle accelerator beneath Switzerland. Some scientists speculate that high-energy particle collisions could create tiny, mini black holes, which might provide evidence of other dimensions or universes. In other words, we might be closer than we think to unlocking the secrets of the multiverse. And let's talk about dark matter, the mysterious invisible substance that makes up most of the universe but doesn't interact with light. Some scientists believe that dark matter could be leaking in from parallel universes. Imagine that. What if an entire hidden reality is right next to us, but we just don't have the tools to see it yet? The bottom line? We might be on the verge of one of the biggest discoveries in history. If alternate universes exist, science will find a way to prove it. And who knows? Maybe one day, we'll find a way to travel between them. The allure of the unknown. So after all of this, where does that leave us? Is there really another version of you out there living a different life? Maybe, maybe not. But here's the thing. The possibility alone changes everything. Think about it. If alternate universes exist, it means every choice you've ever made has played out somewhere. Every dream you've had, every risk you didn't take, every what-if moment, it all exists somewhere in the vast multiverse. And if that's true, then what does it say about the life you're living right now? What if we're more connected to these alternate realities than we realize? What if those strange moments, déjà vu, vivid dreams, unexplainable instincts, aren't just random, but glimpses of something bigger? What if the universe isn't just a place but a network of infinite possibilities, all playing out at the same time? One thing's for sure, the more we learn about the universe, the more mysterious it becomes. And whether or not we ever find proof of the multiverse, one thing is undeniable. The search for answers is what makes us human. Because in the end, we aren't just looking for other universes, we're looking to understand our own. The idea of alternate universes is mind-blowing, but what if it's more than just theory? What if every choice, every possibility is playing out somewhere right now? Science is getting closer to unlocking these secrets, so who knows what we'll discover next? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, make sure to subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-expanding content. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and let's keep exploring the future together. See you in the next one.